Okay, we got something really special today. We got some mail from our favorite artist, Kai Sabatari. And some of you might know Kai in the CEDH world with altars and everything else that's been going on with the popularity of graffiti altars and kind of like where they're going. Anyway, so Kai's one of our favorite artists. We got quite a bit of altars done by him, and yeah, it's just awesome every single time we get something. So super awesome. Can't wait to add it to the deck. So for this particular parcel, it's Yo Michael. First, I was skeptical when you asked me to alter dual lands. Now, I think it's the best decision ever. Me too, Kai. I think it is one of the better decisions ever. And on that post about the duels that we had Kai alter for us, yeah, he did catch some negative comments on Twitter, and I think a lot of the comments were saying that they wish the fad about duels, or not duels, sorry, they wish the fad about graffiti was over. And they also went on to say that, just kind of voicing hostile opinions about that particular set of art. And remember, everybody, not all art's for everybody, right? Like, we got a gold saber-tooth mat here. Some people don't like gold saber-tooth mats, some people love them, it's whatever. Art's subjective. Some people love art, some people hate a piece of art, so art is subjective. But I mean, let's just look at some of these, right? Now, speaking with my brother, I finally got a chance to play my Kenrith deck a little bit ago. He was visiting from Ohio, and we finally got a couple games in, so I was finally able to play some Commander. And we had an interesting kind of discussion about graffiti, and about how graffiti and, well, I mean, yeah, graffiti means different things to different people. It also depends on how urban of a city you grew up in, right? And so I was talking to him about how graffiti, in terms of California, where I grew up, it's oftentimes you see graffiti on maybe areas that are a little bit more socioeconomically challenged, but also you might see graffiti over new structures. And so or older iconic structures that have graffiti. And this kind of iconography is interesting societally and culturally, because we're seeing a revision of an old iconic structure with updated art. And my brother was kind of talking about how graffiti is kind of like counterculture, and that might not necessarily be so popular right now. But regardless, whatever it was, for the time period that I grew up in, I absolutely love graffiti. I adore graffiti. I've taken countless pictures of graffiti throughout the years of my life. And yeah, I've just always really liked it. I thought it was really cool. I thought it was expressive. I also like the fact that artists kind of have their own signature style. And so these are some of the altars that I have from Kai that are currently sleeved up with Kenrith, the deck that you've seen if you've watched some of the channel. And, they're not for everybody, right? We can see that. Some people might not want it, or might not appreciate it in their game or whatever, but it's another way to individualize or personalize your own deck, right? And so you can see all different types of styles here, right? And each of these has a theme, or more or less a story as to why that graffiti is that way, and that's what makes it very, very personal for me, why I'm particularly attached to the style of art that Kai provides, which is really, really nice. So yeah, I was kind of surprised that there was so much backlash about duels, because it's is it taboo? You're not supposed to alter reserveless cards. I mean, I thought these are just cardboard pieces. I mean, I know they could be a little bit more expensive, but a person likes it, if a person is really fond of it, what does it matter? So we're gonna look at it. This is the first one that we got from Kai, and wow, is that awesome! Like, look at that. The detail on the Fabro Elder with the other colors down here, represented on the FAE. Huge fan of that, and I mean, that just pops. Like on a mat or anything else. I mean, let's just take a second and appreciate that. I mean, without looking down here already, but just look at that. Love how creative his altars are. Does a really, really good job. And, you know, it does personalize my Kenrith deck, right? Love it. Love his art. So special. But yeah, again, I mean, art really, it's not, you know, there's pieces of art, there's pieces of art that I don't particularly care for, and I'm sure there's art that I love that other people don't care for, right? So it's one thing to dislike a piece of art, but it's another thing to really branch out and go after the person and say like, oh man, this is a horrible fad, it's a horrible trend, I can't wait for this to end. And I think like one of the people went on to kind of say like, oh, you know, I sat across a Rograk player who had a graffiti altar and I'm so tired of this and yada yada. And it's like, hey, at the end of the day, if somebody likes the art, who cares? You know? If this bothers you and you don't know what Fabro Elder does, I completely understand that, and I'm more than happy to pull out another copy of Fabro Elder, or we can look up the card and we can see it. But to get mad at the art? Why? I don't understand it. It's almost as silly as saying like, oh, I don't like these Lightning Greaves art, right? Like this Lightning Greaves art I think is trash, so I don't want it. That's not the case. I love Mark Suggs' art, but it's kind of the same premise. Like, you're getting mad at the person's choice, like their own artistic preference. And I think that's kind of silly. Oh, camera went out of focus there. There we go. So yeah, I mean, check out this one. I mean, look at that. I asked him to color match the surveils, so we can see the elements of the blue and the white there. I mean, obviously this is in underground sewer. And you know, yeah, if it's not for you, it's not for you. But that doesn't mean, you know, you just got to go and hate on it. And I mean, I get some people might be upset, right? Because maybe altering a card that has X amount of value is taboo. Like, oh, this is a reserve list, it can't be reprinted, don't alter it. But it's my reserve list card, not yours. So in that way, I kind of think people should shut up. Like, just hating just to hate, really. It's kind of ironic. It's kind of ironic in that, like, you know, where we're at culturally, that a lot of acceptance and people are pushing for equality and a lot of other different things going on, but we still have, like, we still can have, like, these, I guess, outdated opinions on something like art above all else. Look at that. I love that. Makes me smile when I was able to play with my brother, and every single time I was able to set up a surveil, because if you don't know, my Kenrith deck is focused heavily on reanimation. And so just seeing those, you know, when I was playing, just really, really brought a smile on my face. Just love it. Love his art. Can't wait to get a couple more. But yeah, I thought it was kind of silly because in the end it's my card, you know. I've seen tons of people alter duels to restore them or alter duels for any other particular reason. And so they might catch some flack, they might not, but I don't know. I just thought it was kind of interesting that this particular instance set some people off and people were not big fans of. And so it's like, wow, check that out. With the cherry blossom influence on the faithless looting. Huge fan of that. That card just absolutely... Oh, let's see if I can fix the camera again. Gotta stop holding things up so close to it, apparently. I don't know if we're gonna get it back. I don't know. It's not focusing. Oh, there we go. Yeah, so I mean, just look at how that pops right there. I absolutely love it. Just look at that. Just love seeing these cards in the deck. My personalized Kenrith, but I mean, yeah, it's kind of interesting. I think it's also has to do with, like, you know, people might voice these opinions online, their angers or their frustrations or their, like, outburst about these things. But I have almost never had this happen in person. In person, like, you know, when people see a lot of my alters and things that I have on this deck, usually it only gets compliments. People are just kind of taken back a little bit, and they're just like, whoa, you know, like, that's a lot of effort put into it, especially considering that each of these alters costs money, right? I mean, none of these are free, and of course, you know, like, I'm very grateful to Kai for providing these, like, high quality alters. So it's kind of one of those things where I always go out of my way to kind of tip him, you know, just because, I mean, look at that, that's amazing. Anyways, kind of think it's a little bit interesting just how people can have, like, opinions like that, because I mean, I've seen alters I don't like, right? I think we all have. I think we've seen maybe proxy printed cards or whatever, and then I don't personally care for Lord of the Rings. It's not anything I go out of my way to watch or I want to see, or, you know, it's nothing personal against it. It's just not my cup of tea. And when I see Lord of the Rings things or different types of alters like that, I'm not, oh gosh, when is this trend gonna go away? I just think it's being so dramatic. And so anyways, now we're gonna get into the very, very attention, like, the very, very attention piece, and also I guess the focus of contention for Kai recently. And first thing we're gonna look at is the Underground Sea. I absolutely love this. Wow, just check that out. Underground Sea, right? And check out the other one we got. We got our Scrubland done. Maybe people were upset because I did these on 4 and white borders. I'm not exactly sure, but I absolutely love how these turned out. Look at that. You know, I had people saying, like, oh, you know, like, this was blasphemy. Look at this. How could you do this? And in reality, it's like, they're my cards, right? I paid money for these. These belong to me. But I don't think these people that were looking at these bothered to necessarily look at the quality that the cards were in, saying about the perspective, like, grade what the card would be. The only way I got Kai to agree to these was because we agreed that they had to be, like, heavy plate or damage. So these cards that, I mean, they are pretty beat up. And look at, they just got a fresh new coat of paint. Just like those structures that I was talking about earlier in the video, about how I've seen a lot of graffiti, at least where I've grown up, and areas that I've been subjected to, where graffiti would be placed on old, iconic buildings as a way almost to, like, almost make it not necessarily new again, but to show it's aged with the times a little bit, right? With the counterculture art. And so check out the Tundra. I don't know. I love it. Some people are hating on it. I think it's incredible. I think it's super fascinating. And it's even sweeter because we have these cards that are old, that do have aged wear, that have been played on concrete, and now they have a new kind of facelift in a way. They've been updated to go into my Kenrith deck, my personal deck, right? To kind of showcase, and look at it, just kind of blends in, and it all kind of fits that theme, right? I love it. It's a ultimate way to kind of like personalize the deck, right? You just got a load of that. I absolutely can't get enough of them, and that's why I love kind of personalizing my own decks a lot. Anyways, I'm done rambling. It was a cool mail day. Next video is probably going to be deconstructing my Jainer and probably my Crick deck, because I just don't play it. Don't have time with finishing up grad school and whatnot. But yeah, I don't know. Don't hate on people's art preferences just because. What's the fucking point?